Master.
Hi everyone, Master here with a brief preview of the MISC Odyssey exploration ship. The Odyssey is a capital-sized ship, still in concept stage, designed for long-range expeditions for resource and salvage hunting. The ship is quite large at 140 meters long, 90 meters wide, and 35 meters high. It's a little longer than the Carrack and much larger than a Constellation series ship. It's designed for a crew of up to 6, with all the facilities needed for long-range cruising. I just want to let you know that some of the interior pictures I got online are only white box images, so not all of them have textures. We don't know the full status of the Odyssey right now, but it had some white box and concept art in late 2021. It's possible it hasn't been touched since then, and we don't know when it'll release. The Odyssey has 3 decks inside. The aft deck is the highest floor of the ship. Here you have the gravity generator, inspired by a Xi'an design, a refinery, and the engines. The refinery is used for converting quantanium ore into fuel, as well as processing hydrogen fuel, so the ship can keep on traveling even when there are no gas stations nearby. You cannot refine anything other than quantanium or hydrogen fuel though. Engineering access to the engines are here for maintenance. The elevators here lead to the other decks. The main deck is in the middle. It has the bridge in front with space for a few players. There are remote weapon stations near the bridge. Behind this is the component access for engineering and the escape pods. Hopefully there is space for at least 6 people in the escape pods. Behind this section are the crew quarters for 6 people with a mess hall with galley and common area. There seems to be individual cabins for the crew. There is a small docking collar on the right side to connect to other ships, a locker room for crew stowage, and then a large docking port on the left side for space stations and large ships. The elevator continues from here to the hangar deck. The hangar deck has mining controls for the mining and tractor beam turrets, a Tier 2 medical facility, a cargo ramp, and a cargo bay. The Tier 2 med bay should be able to handle most entries as well as decontamination processes. Small ground vehicles can also go up the cargo ramp and get stored in the cargo bay. The vehicle bay can fit medium-sized vehicles like the Ursa Rover as well as the Tumbril Cyclone, Grey Cat Rock, Drake Mule and others, but it won't fit any larger vehicles like the Nova Tank or the Spartan. There is also a round personnel lift just in front of the cargo ramp that leads to the ground. There is a ship hangar that takes up most of the space in the rear of the ship, and then a viewing room in the back. The ship hangar is an extra small hangar, so you can fit small ships in it, as small as the Mirai Fury and as large as an Anvil Gladiator or an Anvil Hurricane. You might be able to fit 2 or more snub ships in the hangar possibly. The Odyssey itself is so large that it'll only be able to fit in hangar bays that hold a Carrack. With any other locations, you'll have to dock with stations directly if you need refueling or repair. The Odyssey has capital class shields, size 4, possibly just 1 shield, but there could be more. There is a large size 3 quantum drive and large hydrogen and quantum fuel tanks. No word on ship speed right now. Quantum travel should be very fast with such huge drives. The ship can hold up to 252 SCU, which is low for a ship that size, but this ship is not a freighter, so heavy cargo is not the purpose. The Odyssey has an S2 mining laser turret, about the same as the mining turrets on the Argo Mole, but dedicated to mining fuel only. There seems to be a tractor beam turret on the ship in the front too. For defense, the ship has 3 remote size 5 turrets controlled from the bridge. 1 turret over the bridge, 1 in the middle of the ship, and another in the back of the ship down below. The turrets seem to have 2 guns on them each. Probably size 5 guns, but that could change. There may be some missile launchers on the ship, possibly 4 size 3 launchers, but we'll need confirmation on that. The Odyssey went on concept sale in November 2022. The ship goes for $700 in time-limited sales, normally during the IAE event. The ship is still not flyable yet, and no word yet on when it'll release. The ship itself has a gray or silver paint scheme, but there was a gray and white Wind Rider paint that went on sale during the concept. I don't know if that paint will ever go on sale again in the future or not. This ship is designed primarily for scouting raw materials or detecting salvage in faraway locations, so that other mining, refining, and salvage ships can use that information. The Odyssey doesn't have scanning features that the Carrack does, so it can't detect unstable or hidden jump points or do any science either. It also can't mine resources by itself or salvage any ships. It's not as multi-purpose as some other large ships out there, but it does its job well. It does have very long-range fuel tanks, so it should be able to travel very far before needing refueling. The mining beam will also help refuel the ship if you can find any quantinium rocks nearby your journey. The ground vehicle storage will be great for carrying vehicles for exploring planetary locations or moons. The individual crew quarters, the mess hall, and the medical bay mean the ship will be very comfortable for the crew on long-range missions. The hangar means you can carry small exploration ships, salvage ships, or cargo ships. These will make it easier to check out hard-to-reach areas that the large Odyssey can't reach, or supplement the features the Odyssey lacks. Having fighting craft in the hangar will help keep you safe from other fighters. Aside from ore and salvage exploration, the Odyssey could be used as a pocket carrier for civilian forces using snub fighters if needed, since it can refuel itself and any ships in the hangar bay, plus the heavy shields and turrets would help. You could hold a ton of Furies in that hangar bay, and it would be great for protecting areas that are far from help. Pirates may also use Odysseys as pocket carriers, probably along with help from Drake Corsairs and other ships, to attack those same targets in remote space that are far away from UEE protection, or any space stations. The tractor beam would be great for pulling in ill-gotten cargo, and you can refuel yourself using asteroids. The long-range radar will help in spotting targets too. You could also use the Odyssey as a search and rescue ship for remote locations, as it has the long-range fuel tanks and medical bay to reach and help stranded pilots, plus a handy tractor beam for picking up escape pods. You could probably even fit an Anvil Pisces R ambulance ship in the hangar too. You can still use the Odyssey as a cargo ship, although it doesn't hold as much as the Carrack or Caterpillar. The cargo hold is double what a Constellation Taurus can hold, so that's still pretty decent. Plus, you can ferry cargo using small cargo ships in the hangar, such as the Drake Cutter or Anvil Pisces. You can also load ground cargo with the Drake Mule. Keep in mind the Odyssey is not the most heavily defended ship though, so it's highly recommended that you have escort ships as well as any small defending ships you can store in the hangar. The highest risk to the Odyssey will be from bombers, anti-capital fighters, and corvettes, since they have long-range weapons and guns. The heavy shields and armor are tough, so they can withstand all but torpedoes and heavy guns, but the turrets may not have the best coverage against fighters or incoming torpedoes. We also don't know how fast the turrets are, if they're big size 5 guns, as they may not be fast enough to keep up with more agile fighters. If you're in dangerous space, it's probably best to have ships like Constellations or Hammerheads, or Corsairs to help keep you safe. Or you could use long-range fighters like the Vanguard series or Banu Defender. We also don't see any VTOL engines in the images, so we don't know how well the Odyssey can fly or land on planets or moons with heavy gravity. It could be very sluggish to land or take off, let alone turning such a heavy ship. Another issue is there seem to only be escape pods on the middle floor. If there's an emergency, everyone will have to run to that floor on the elevators to escape, unless you can use a ship in the hangar to escape. That doesn't sound very OSHA approved. The Odyssey will also require a decent crew to manage all the ship systems efficiently. There is engineering, piloting, hangar maintenance, mining, gun turrets, and all sorts of other things that you cannot do by yourself. But if you have enough crew and protection, then the Odyssey will bring in a ton of money with resource exploration. Mining and salvage crews will be eager to buy any info you have that you find on your journeys on the frontier. Alright, so that's it for the MISC Odyssey preview. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You can use my referral code if you decide to jump in as Star Citizen, and you'll get 5,000 extra in-game credits. Here's a big thank you to my current patrons. I have a Patreon going for $3 a month and a YouTube membership of $4.99. All patrons and members will have their names listed at the end of my videos and get access to our Discord channel. Patrons and members will also have first pick on the next item I'll cover, so feel free to sign up and let me know what you'd like to see next. Okay, catch you all next time.